Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we're back at the tiny house and we're going to continue working on this doorway that I started. This is just a scrap piece of wood that I'm trying to use to sort of figure out where the next two pieces are going to be before I put the trim board back, which is probably what I'm going to actually end up using to measure out the door frame top, whatever. So once I figure out where those boards are kind of going to be, I'm going to do a whole lot of measuring to block out some of these little sections at the top here and at the bottom so that when I go to hammer these pieces in, they're just there and hopefully even. And then I did bring the sander today, so I will be sanding the door if I finish that in time. So I probably won't end up putting the trim pieces up today. I'm not sure, it depends. But I will be sanding the door down and filling up any cracks because you guys probably can't see it from here, but there are a lot of cracks in the sides of the door and everything that I want to fill out. So I'm going to sand it first, fill in the cracks, give it one more good sand, and the door should be ready to go. And then after that, I will probably use some scrap pieces, the thin pieces anyway, to try and level the door with the top plate. So I'm probably going to put, well, trim piece. So I'm going to put that trim piece in the top and then put the door up so that I can kind of get it level, mark the general area where the hinges are going to go, and then go from there. So I don't know if I'm going to get all of that done today. I'm hopeful, but we'll have to see. So I think that's it. Let me get the measurements first, and then I'm going to cut the two new pieces for the post because these were too short, and go from there. All right. So we're going to go for the floor up. I don't know how short these were by. They're probably short by just a little bit, honestly. So that's 74 really. 74 and maybe over a quarter. We're going to stick with 74 and a quarter. So that when I go to cut these, if I gotta trim off a little bit, I will. This is approximate because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if. Yeah, I'll give it that and a quarter. Yeah, these are just approximate because I'm pretty sure the doorway is level. I checked it, but I'm not sure. I still want to be sure that both sides are the same height for the boards. So I'm still gonna, like, once I get the actual placement for the studs, I'm gonna measure again just to make sure that they're even for both. So if they end up being a little longer or shorter than the other, that makes sense. So, all right, I need to move this out of the way. See how big this doorway is. I need to measure out 2 feet for the door, and then really about a quarter of an inch, 3/4 of an inch on each side to add into that. So it'll really be, I think, 25.5 really from the center. So I'll find the exact middle of this board and then split that and go from there. So a lot of math. All right. And we're going to ignore the angles because they're not going all the way to the sides. I just need to figure out where the door is going to be, and then I will measure the alright, you go there. This board is 34.5 on this side. Is it a half? Yes, so what is half of 31.5? I'm thinking it's 15.75. Might be wrong. Oh, where's my calculator? Not times 2, definitely not times 2. Yep, I was right. So, get that back up there. There goes my pencil. I've already eyeballed it, so. So right there is 15.75. So, to either side of that, we're gonna divide 25 and a half by 2. Which makes it 12.75 to either side. So, this is potentially the silliest thing I've ever done. But if it works, it works. So, there's that. It's about right here. Now, same thing on the other side. Don't actually like dropping my 4 tape measure. All right. It would help if I held it the right way, wouldn't it? And we're in the money. All right. So I have the basic sides marked out. So I need to get an idea of where the actual posts are going, and I'm going to probably end up screwing them into the plates, and then, well, I say plates, I mean like the little what are they called? The little inserts I plan on cutting out, and then we'll have to see from there. Yeah. So anyway. All right. Let me do one more check on the height measurement. I have a gallon, it's going to be 74. We'll go with 74. Yeah. Maybe 74 1/4. Just a little bit. Trim it off if I need to. Sand it down. And this side. $74 1/4 as well, just about. So I got my measurements, I got my placements. I gotta measure, and I think I can probably use a scrap piece of wood, and I'm going to for the inserts. So I don't think I'll really need them to hammer this stuff in place. I just gotta make sure that they don't butt up too much against this. So let's mark out the wood down here, and then I will meet you guys on the porch. I have to be a little careful. Alright. Now the fun part, because since these are technically floating studs, I need to put in some blocking. I need to correct this one just a little bit more with the top, but this one's perfect. So I'm going to put in some blocking to kind of try to attach it to the walls and whatnot, so that when I go to hammer in the trim, it doesn't move. But for right now, I think they're pretty good. So let me see if I don't have some scrap wood that I can actually put up in here to solidify these and go from there. You guys can't see it because I have to turn the camera, but I've been throwing most of my scrap wood into this little box over here on the side, at least the really small pieces that I'm not sure I'll be able to use for certain projects, but I'll try to save my longer pieces because I might be able to use them for something else too. But just a bunch of scrap wood pieces. They're too short for most things that I plan on turning into other projects eventually. Do not step on the sander. That's probably going to end up being the next thing I do today. Or maybe they're too ugly to use for a project, so there's that. Alright. So let me see if I can't fix this one just a little bit. With my favorite hammering block. Okay. Also, I realized that they're going to be a little off level over here for some reason. And I think that's just because of how the walls are in this area. Because all the other ones are spot on perfect. So it might just be the doorway, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah. Alright, now that both have been corrected, time to look at some blocking. don't think I'll be able to like screw them into place from right here. Won't happen. So I'm actually just going to move these pieces into that area and then do all of that later when I go to actually hang up the door, because I still got to sand and stain it and all of that. So let's just get to that portion, because I feel like I can knock that out fairly quickly. All right, so I'm actually going to go from the sides of the door first, because they're the ones that are the most out of shape. I need them flat, and that'll help me fill in some holes on the sides and everything. So don't clip the top of the doorway, and don't land on my hand. Bam. So I did bring the jackery with me today. So I'm going to move the door up this way so it's not leaning against these and potentially moving them out of spot. And we're going to get to sanding, because I cannot take this outside. It's too heavy for that. So let me move some stuff around first, and we'll get to sanding the door. Alrighty, so I brought the jackery and the sander out here with me. I'm probably going to leave the sander out here, because I know I'm going to need it. I'm just glad it doesn't take that much to power this little sander. That's 80. Alright, I need ripped up like that. What I really need is a couple 120s, but the way these look, I'm going to have to do something a little ghetto here, and that's just going to have to be fine. Alrighty, I have a 60 grit here, but I'm not trying to take that much off. I need it smooth enough, but I need to take off at least a decent amount to make this smooth, even edge, because right now we're bumpy from all the different pieces of wood. That's not going to stay in there. Anyways, it's bumpy from all the different pieces of wood, pretty much pieced together, so let's get to it. I don't think I'm going to need my mask for this, but we'll find out in a few seconds. curtain's going to be completely dirty, but that's okay. So I think this is doing a fantastic job of making this even. I'm trying to make this as smooth as possible. So I'm going to continue sanding this, but I'm trying to treat this like one big piece of wood and try to get it as flat as possible so that when I go to put like the hinges and stuff on it, it acts as one piece of wood. I don't know why I'm yelling. But I'm liking this so far, so let me finish up this side, see how even I've got it, and go from there. Get a good, yeah. All right. Woo. All right. That side's done. Let me give it a good brush off. I'm probably going to get my mask just in case because wood dust is a thing. But we are smooth and it looks so nice. So I'm going to fill in these little cracks with the wood filler, try to make it one solid surface so it looks better, and then we'll go around on the other surfaces, edges of the door, and sand those down so that they are nice and smooth too. So let me get my mask and then we'll be right back to it. So I sanded this side a little more aggressively because it's very uneven, and I'll have to do the same for this bottom side right here and the other side because they're very uneven. Excuse me, there's so much dust in the air now. But I'm liking how it's turning out so far. So I'm going to finish sanding this one side down. I gotta let the sander cool off first. And then after I'm done doing that, I'll try to get the top and bottom of the door to the best of my ability in this spot. I just need them as even as possible. I'm not too worried about the top and bottom being even either. I just need the sides to be almost even or at least flat so that when I go to put the hinges on and everything goes smoothly. So that's that. Let me let the sander cool off and I'll take a little break. I gotta see what time it is. It's whoa, it's almost 4 o'clock. So we'll see how this goes. It's 9 minutes till. We'll see how this goes, and I will bring you guys back once I'm done sanding the door. Oh. I don't know what I just did. Okay. Alright, so this face, the top and bottom have been sanded down. I still gotta get the, well, I don't know which one's the top or bottom. But anyways, this part might end up being the bottom, just being honest. Because it's flat. Like, nice and flat. But I still gotta get this top side right here, or whichever side it is of the door, a little more smoothed out so that it's completely even. And then I gotta get that other top or bottom plate, whatever it's called, flat as well. And then after that, I just gotta sand this side as smooth as possible, at least to get rid of the rough edges and everything, clean that up, and the door will be ready for stain. But and I think I'm going to stain the door first, cut the trim pieces, stain them separately, and then put them onto the door. Or just like no, I'll do exactly what I just said, and then nail them to the door so that I know the door is finished. And then once all of that is done, that is when I will hang the door. So next week we're gonna finish sanding the door. We're gonna put the blocking in for the bathroom wall so that when I go to put the trim in, it won't be knocking the new studs out of place. I will also be staining the trim because I wanted to do that in the first place. So I'll salvage them, stain them the best I can because they're already stain ready, and then put them up, and that should be that. So I already looked at the time. It's practically 4 o'clock, so that's all the time I got for today. I'll be back here next week to finish up all of these door projects, and hopefully I can finally hang my bathroom door and the bathroom door be completely done. And then it's on to whatever other project I can get my hands on until then. And it's probably going to either be a out in the tiny garden idea where I got to clean it up because it's starting to get overgrown again. And I might put down I'm thinking about putting down sand or mulch or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask my mom about that and see if I can't get like a truckload of dirt or sand or whatever, just one load of sand to just put back there so that I can sand or gravel. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. And I'll probably have to put some landscape tarp, whatever it's called, down. So that's the idea for the tiny garden and whatnot, just to get it ready for whatever I plan to do to it in the future. And if I'm not getting into the garden, then I will go through with my idea of getting 2 custom cabinets to put together for this oven and my smaller custom cabinet for the microwave and stuff. I'm gonna move you guys because the lighting is terrible back here. I keep forgetting about that. Alright, so those are the 2 projects I'm thinking about getting into. Right now, I believe the garden idea might be the easier of the 2 because of all of the stuff I have sitting right here in the kitchen area. And I don't really want to do anything too major in the kitchen area quite yet until I get these 2x4s out of the way. And those will all go to the bonus room build. So a lot going on with those. And I also got to finish up sealing up the tiny house, so that might be a next week video as well, because I will be moving some of the stuff around just so I can more easily seal up the walls and whatnot, because I think it has helped keep some bugs out, and I'm very happy to see that. So if I can seal up the rest of these, then it should be fine. I'm not getting this wall here because I'll have to rip the wall out anyways. So yeah, I think that's all the time I got for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my Patreon or my art channel. I do post on my art channel at least twice a week like I do on this channel, Tuesdays and Thursdays, around 12 p.m. I don't think there's anything else other than that. So I guess until next week, see you guys.